What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can tell, right behind me I have another G35 Coupe that I bought to part it out. Now, I bought this car for $1,000 and it doesn't have a title. It's just been getting a lot harder to find cheap cars, so this is all that I can come up with. I'm gonna go ahead and part this vehicle out and hopefully make $3,000 to $4,000 in profit. So this right here should be a 2005 Infiniti G35 Coupe. I say it should because I don't have the title for it. The interior looks like it's a 2005. So this car is in okay shape as far as the body goes. There is some damage here in the back, like the bumper. The trunk has a dent on it, but that's okay. This top piece looks all right, and most people want this, so I am gonna probably sell that. The tail lights are damaged, so I don't think I'll get anything for that. The tires and wheels are okay. I'll probably sell those for like 300 bucks. The interior, not the best, to be honest. There's not a lot of parts that can be sold off of this vehicle that are in okay shape. The only thing that it has really going for it is the engine. So I'm probably gonna sell that engine for like 800 bucks. I bought the car for 1,000 bucks, so I would just need to make $200 in parts to break even, basically. The fenders are both okay, side skirts are okay, front bumper has some damage to it, the hood is okay, the pillars are okay. So yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some money made off of this car in parts, but I'm not expecting to make a whole lot of money just because it's automatic and it does have that grayish tan interior. This car has 158,000 miles. It does have cold AC. It does have a big issue here with the crankshaft sensor, so I can't really drive. I can't push the car higher than like 1,500 RPM. It just won't go anything above that, so I kind of had to shift myself early so that I can get up to speed. So right now I can shift into second, and I'll do that. It'll kind of just, you know, hesitate. It won't take off. If I let go of the gas, try to, you know, baby the throttle, it'll slowly climb up in miles. And then I just gotta shift into another gear so that I can go faster. As long as I stay underneath 2,000 RPM, the vehicle drives fine. This car should only need a crankshaft sensor, and I have a ton of those, so I'll try to fix that. But it's not like I'm gonna fix and sell the car. I'm gonna just part it out, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Alright guys, so it has been maybe like 3 days since I've had this car, and up to this day I've made my money back and about $100 in profit. I did sell both weather stripping pieces that go by the A-pillars. I sold the trunk, I sold some speakers, I sold the amp. These wheels are technically sold, they just need to pick them up. I sold those for like 300 bucks, like I said. And then tomorrow they're gonna come for this pillar right here. It is a little bit broken right here, but I think they still want it. They're gonna come for the passenger side seat belt. They're gonna come for this little window, and I believe they're gonna come for the center console, the shifter selector. And they're also going to come for the AC blower motor. So I'm going to sell those parts. I can't remember how much I'm selling all that for. But I think that's going to be like another $400 to $500. So far everything is looking pretty good. I still haven't even sold anything from the front. People are asking about parts here, like the hood, fenders, radiator support. So all that stuff is going to go eventually. And I did sell some pieces from the engine, like the coolant tank here, along with the intake and a few other things. This car still runs and drives, so the engine is still up for sale. And yeah, I mean, I still got a lot of parts that need to be sold, so I am hopeful that I will make about $4,000 when this car is done. Right now, what I'm gonna do is pull some parts off of this vehicle. I'm gonna put it on jacks. so that I can leave it on jacks for the remainder of the time that I have it here. I did want to put a different crankshaft sensor in this vehicle because that is the main issue that it has, and I just want to make sure that the transmission and engine are good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this replacement one that I had from other engines. I'm going to put that in, see if everything runs good, and then after that I'm just going to go ahead and start removing things off the car. So looking underneath here, it looks like somebody has replaced the wiring harness on the crankshaft sensor. So maybe there's just a bad connection there. I'm going to replace the sensor still to see if maybe that fixes the issue. So I'm gonna see if that fixes the problem that this vehicle had. And yeah, that fixed it. Now I will say that I already was messing around with the crankshaft sensor, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video on how to fix issues with your crankshaft sensor on these vehicles. I've noticed that if you don't bolt down the crankshaft sensor in a specific location, the vehicle won't run right, and it'll have a similar issue to this vehicle. So right now I have it on there just hand tight, and it turns on fine. So I just gotta wiggle it around if it doesn't start or it kind of misfires. Once I find that perfect spot, I'll go ahead and tighten it down with the ratchet, and that usually will fix your problem if you have crankshaft sensor issues on these vehicles. It looks like somebody had replaced the crankshaft sensor with a brand new one from Nissan, but that didn't fix the problem, and that's probably why they ended up selling this vehicle. It goes to show you that it's not always the crankshaft sensor. It could be that it's not mounted correctly. That's what I kind of figure is going on with this one, even though I did replace it with another one. That sensor is new, so it should technically be good. This guy is gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. To remove the shifter slash gear selector, you kind of have to push this guy down. There's a little clip in there that you want to go ahead and pull out with a pick or something. Go ahead and pull it out. Your shift knob will come out, and then what you want to do there at that point is go right here and put your fingers in here and kind of lift up so that it can unclip from the center console. Score, I found some cheap sockets and a cheap ratchet in the car as well. So I did sell a few things right now. Sold the A-pillar, this mirror right here on this side. I also sold the blower motor, I guess the shifter cover, or like the plate, not the actual shifter itself. I sold that. I was gonna sell this window and the seat belt, however it is a little bit more involved than it looks. You have to kind of go in here and pry it and heat up this glue to remove this rear window here. So they're gonna come back for this next week, but this should be gone as well, along with the seat belt. I also sold the grill, and I sold a relay. So it's right here. Yeah, so I made more money today. I'm gonna keep parting this guy out. Still a ton of parts left. So it's the next day. I'm still not feeling too well, but I have people wanting to get the IPDM harness. This harness is actually pretty difficult to remove, and it can take a long time to remove because it routes basically through the front right here, goes to the headlights, comes up here through this harness, connects to the ABS module, goes underneath, goes over there, and connects to your IPDM box. And then right here it also goes inside underneath the brake booster into the driver's side, and it connects down there. So it's probably the biggest harness in the car. So that is going to be a challenge to remove, but I do need to get that off, and I need to get off these wheels because they're also going to get sold. I'm just very low on energy, and it's just hard to, to keep going at it, but I gotta sell this stuff. And then I'm also gonna remove the engine harness off because somebody wants that as well. So I'm gonna see how that goes as well. Alright guys, so I ended up taking the heater core out. Pretty much everything right here that you see is loose. I took all of that out because I needed to take the IPDM harness out, and it wouldn't come out without removing that. So in the future, if somebody asks for the IPDM harness, I don't think I'm going to go through the trouble of removing it because it is a lot of work, and I only sold it for $200, which is not a lot, and for the amount of work that it took to remove, I don't think it's worth it. But I mean, this time I did it because they really needed it. But yeah, IPDM harness is probably the more difficult harness to remove from this vehicle because it is so big and it goes under everything, and to get it out you got to remove the dash, the heater core, AC lines, move the brake booster out of the way. So yeah, it's very involved. Right now, somebody's gonna pick up this bash bar. I'm gonna sell that. I'm also gonna sell the sunroof assembly, so I need to take that out as well. And then I have other people that want small little pieces, but it's not for sure yet, so I haven't pulled them out just yet. The goal would be to remove, things as people need them, so that I don't have things just kind of laying around. So we're gonna continue going. Alright guys, so I did end up selling a few more parts from the G35 Coupe that I'm parting out here. So I did sell the front bumper, the passenger side fender, the hood, the core support, one of the side skirts. I sold all of that plus install for $860. So at this point I have about $3,300 made from this part out. I still have the engine to sell, and I still have a lot more interior parts that need to be sold. So far everything's going good. So today I decided to take out the engine. Pretty much it's free to get pulled. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it, set it off to the side here, and then I think maybe like a week or two more, and then I'll probably get rid of the shell. But I'll still take a lot of the parts that it still has, like the fender, the brakes, maybe the diff. Take all of that and try to put some stuff in storage. But yeah, for now we'll take the engine out Alright, so as you can tell, I have the engine out. I did make a little mess, nothing too bad though. So I'm gonna let this engine sit here until I find the buyer for it. I am gonna separate the transmission because I'm gonna sell that separately as well. But aside from that, I'm not really gonna touch anything on it. I'll probably take off the accessories, sell the engine without any accessories. Alright guys, so it has been maybe like 3 weeks that I've had this G35 in the garage. I've been parting out little pieces at a time, and sometimes I don't pick up the camera to record, but this vehicle is probably going to be gone tomorrow. So in total, I've made about $4,200 parting out this car. I did buy the car for $1,000, so technically I made a $3,000 profit. I still have an engine that I'm going to sell, and I still have a lot of parts inside of the car that are going to be sellable later on down the road. So I am going to just take everything that I want to keep from this car, and then I'm gonna fill up the interior with trash, metal, things that I don't want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Right now this car is gonna get picked up. I'm pretty much paying somebody to take this car because it doesn't have a title, so not a lot of people want to deal with that. What you're gonna have to do is cut it up and sell it for scrap metal. So I'm gonna pay somebody $100 to pick it up and get it out of here. It still has the bumper attached, but nobody has asked me about the bumper, and as you guys can see, I don't have really much space. So I'm gonna just get rid of everything here you guys see. They're gonna pick it up right now, and we're gonna move on to the next project. About a week later, I ended up selling the engine for $900. So in total, I made $5,300 minus the cost of the vehicle, which was $1,000. I profited $4,200. So I think I did pretty good, all things considered. I did turn $1,000 into $4,000. Now I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna buy a few more cars, so stay tuned to see how much more I can make. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.